Thank you. I'm gonna go grab some slides real quick. So thank you everyone for attending my portion of today's job fair. I do represent Benchmark Senior Living. We do operate in the Eastern region, so we're in states as low as Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and I support communities that are in Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. So I'm going to give you a little of our organization today. We also have an email that you can send any correspondence to, recruiting@benchmarkquality.com. I will bring that back up again later in the presentation. So a little bit about our organization. As I mentioned, we are in the Eastern Seaboard. You can see that we're from Maine down to Pennsylvania. We operate senior living communities, and those communities consist of independent living for our senior population. We also have assisted living, where we hire associates that may assist our residents with daily living. And then we've got memory care neighborhoods where our residents can reside in a safe environment, and we provide a lot of stimulating activity and music and ways to keep them engaged and keep life meaningful for our residents. So we've got a number of different positions within each community. The community I want to highlight today is at the top here, Bay Square. That is in Yarmouth, Maine. This is an assisted living and memory care community. It's a beautiful setting. It's very Maine oriented, and we've got residents that live there fairly independently in assisted living. So they may drive a vehicle. They may come down for all of their meals. We have a dining experience. We've got a dining room where we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have activities to take our residents outside to maybe an establishment such as restaurant, theater, different venues that they can stay engaged in their community and kind of keep the same lifestyle that they may have had at home. And then we do have the memory care neighborhood. So we do hire people that have a caring heart, want to share their talents with our senior residents. And those jobs can vary from front desk reception to a program assistant to a van driver. As I said, we have our own dining room. So we have associates in our dining room such as cook, server. The dietary team has the director of food services, who is also an active cook and participant. And then we have people that are employed in the housekeeping department, where they would go and clean our resident rooms. They would clean our common areas, much like your living room at home or the kitchen at home. This is what our community looks like. It's like a big home for our residents. So we've got housekeeping that would take care of that, maintenance staff. And then we have care associates. So we've got our clinical side of the house, which is the RCA or the LNA, who would care for the resident one-on-one. They may do some basic assistance, may assist with bathing, may assist with their eating, may take them for walks, may assist with transferring from a bed to wheelchair if they have mobility issues. Our RCAs may assist them with a doctor's appointment. And then of course, some one-to-one activity. And then in our memory care neighborhood, we do have the same clinical team. We have designated RCA, designated housekeeping, and then of course our nursing team. We do have our nurses in our entire community to check in with our residents, provide clinical oversight, manage daily medication administration, and care for our residents for their medical needs. The community in Yarmouth, currently we're recovering from this pandemic. We did not have any COVID cases there. I'm very happy that this community was very diligent in keeping our residents safe. And, you know, we were on a little bit of a quarantine, and we still had a really great time keeping our residents engaged, having as much fun as we could during that time. So it's very important to us that our residents are like our family, and we take care of them as such. You can also see that we have some other communities. If you're in neighboring areas, maybe you're in college and you go home for the summer, we would love to see if there's a position for you in Concord, New Hampshire. Bedford, New Hampshire. We've got 2 communities in that area. We're also in Nashua and then Salem, New Hampshire. If you're close to Massachusetts, we have a community in Haverhill and North Andover. So our mission really with our senior living population, we want to deeply understand our residents. We want to meet them where they are. These are residents that have lived very full lives. They may have been school teachers, doctors, they may have been a homemaker or some professional in their life, and now they're retired. And they may find themselves in a position where they can't stay at home and be independent. So what can we do as a company to provide them with a meaningful life in their later years, in the years where they're feeling more dependent, which is really quite challenging as residents age, right? It's not something they counted on when they were younger, as they would become more dependent as life went on. So we want to create a fun atmosphere where we're engaging and there's something meaningful to look forward to daily, weekly, monthly, and really engaging with our residents. We're also a great place to work. We participate in a number of surveys and we are closely connected with the senior living community. And these are some of the awards that we have acquired and continue to be on the list for great places to work and have received these accolades. Again, any questions that you have, you can send to recruiting@benchmarkquality.com. We do have another place that you can look for our positions, careers, at benchmarkquality.com. I'll repeat that back in a minute. When we talk about the senior living population, these are some of the demographics. So if you've ever thought about a senior living population and how it's growing and how you could serve that group and maybe some job security, I would invite you to look at this slide. So this is the number of seniors who are aging in place. The blue column would show you those that are over 65, and the greenish yellow column on the right of the blue shows you the number of people that are over 85 years of age. And they may have been living at home and now they require the services that we can provide. You can see that it's been growing. 2020, we're there in the middle of the screen at 15% of the population is over the age of 65. In another 5 years, you're going to see that number go up to about 17%. So a career in assisted living, memory care, working with seniors is a solid career. It was very interesting during the height of the pandemic for us because we were staying the course. We're still in business. We have lives to protect and to care for. So healthcare is a wonderful career path, if you're not in it, to consider for longevity, security, and of course fulfilling sometimes a personal mission of your own, right, is giving back to others. So this was our response to COVID. You can see the person in the white is wearing a full Tyvek suit. We were in full PPE during the beginning of the COVID response back in the end of March. We were getting very concerned and had consulted our physicians and had really created a strategic plan to get our associates what they needed to be safe. So we deployed lots of PPE to the communities, which is a face mask, face shield, gown, glove, everything you can imagine. We also provided transportation and childcare support. So we knew that some of our associates relied on public transportation. So there was a stipend available for those that, you know, when public transportation wasn't available, we wanted to help out those associates that were not able to rely on that. We also had a childcare stipend because school programs were closed. People were trying to manage their childcare situation and keep their employment. So we had a childcare stipend that we just are ending this week because school's out and people are kind of returning to normal, but that went on for 3 months. We also had open and ongoing communication from management. We had calls daily. We communicated with our associates via private Facebook pages for our communities, email. We've got a WeSpire page where we can communicate globally across all 60 communities, trying to keep people informed because information was changing daily. If you watch the news at all, every day there was a different update. So you can imagine how that would affect a company trying to follow the CDC guidelines. We also had a lot of HR support, and I do sit on the HR team. And we were, you know, as like all of us, we were working 7 days a week, very long days, making sure that our associates were taken care of, whether they were fearful of COVID or they may have contracted COVID from some place. We were paying for them to be out while they were recovering. We paid for their COVID tests. We offered employee assistance. So in the parentheses, it says EAP. That is the Employee Assistance Program. And it is a confidential service we provide to our associates if they need assistance. So lots of support for our associates during this time as they were supporting and caring for our residents. So I don't have an updated list of the current hiring needs because it does change, but if you have any questions about Bay Square, I can certainly get you in touch with that community and get you the link to log in. These are some of our associates here. We're just a great place to work. If you enjoy working with your fellow associates and providing care and a fun environment with our residents, check us out. It's a great organization. Some of the hiring practices that we can offer would be a virtual interview, a virtual community tour. We do in-person interviews, and then our onboarding and training is a pretty extensive amount of time to get people prepared. So this is where you can apply at careers.benchmarkseniorliving.com. It is long, or you can email us at recruiting@benchmarkquality.com. And below are some of the photos of the fun that we have at work. We have to engage our residents and provide a meaningful experience for them. So we're big on silliness. Of course, we have time for seriousness, but it's okay for us to be creative and have fun along with our residents. And that is my time up and the end of my slide presentation.
Shannon, thank you so very much for taking the time to do this.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.